Okay, the purpose of this call is to I realize that Alhamdulillah, I have quite a few customers there for my web-based system and the TR indicator for TradingView as well. And I almost know all of you. All of you are maybe my customer except maybe for one person. And the purpose is to share the how to use the software itself, and I will try to answer the questions asked, if any. Meanwhile, and some of you already, when you fill out the form, you send me the some questions. I will try to go through those questions as well. So moving on, so that we can save on time. Let me share my first screen with you. Okay. So one second. Let me share the main screen with you. Okay, you guys can see my screen now. Okay, can you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
I
can
can
see
see
it.
that.
Thank you. Then everyone can see it. Okay, this is the main software of my analyzestocks.net. When you log on to this software, you come to this place. And even if you are just subscribed to the weekly commentary, then you will be at this place. And you can come to this place, and you can, on your left, there is a menu item on all those weekly commentary and how to analyze the software. We'll go through those. And on our YouTube channel, if some of you have not gone through my YouTube channel, there are many YouTube videos available on different aspects and features of how to use it. So, for example, last week I have this seminar at ICPC, which is a mosque in Dallas Fort Worth area. And Brother Mushfiq was very nice to invite me. He's here. Thank you very much, Brother Mushfiq, and the management of that mosque. And previous sessions, the weekly sessions I have normally. Now, over here, I also have some basic videos. For example, today one gentleman was asking me about the basics of the charts. So, chart basic 101 is an hour, 16 minutes. It's just to how to set up the charts and use different features of the charts. If you need this kind of training, then this video is for you. Then we have one of these short videos, like taking the date where my cursor is. I hope you can see my hand cursor. Taking the day trade using the day trading indicator for trading view. Another short video of setting up the TR indicator for trading view. Another short video of how to find leading stock using relative strength and comparison charts, which are going to. There are quite a few videos, maybe 30 plus videos available here. Go and take a look. Like this short video of 20 minutes is a quick tour of the entire platform which I'm using showing right now. And then the Excel based version, which some of you are still using, of the same software, but this is an old classic version and not the AI based version. It is also there. So take some time out, because learning is not something that you can complete in a very short time. And obviously, you can carry on with that. So when you come to this section, you will have access to the weekly commentary page. When you click on this, there you will find the latest weekly commentary, its synopsis, that what happened. This was issued on the Sunday for the week ending on 2nd of August, which is actually Sunday, which was Sunday. And you can download this latest PDF file for your own records. So over the top, we had a first section which is discussing what happened last week. So that last week, as we know, the Thursday and Friday was very good after the brutal Wednesday around the Fed announcement. Then what happened to each individual market, and you can see it's a performance for the last Friday, last entire week, the monthly performance. So for the month of July, most of the market ended in negative zone, like Nasdaq 100 by minus 6.6% down, and with the exception of Dow Jones, every major market ended in red, which is kind of unique. Normally, July is not that bad month, but this month, this year, it was different. YTD basis is year-to-date basis performance and 1 year performance. Then we drill down to each individual sector. So there are 11 different sectors within S&P 500, like materials, real estate, industrials, staples or defensive, energy. And energy was the only sector which was an outlier, 12% gain because of the Middle East tensions and the war going on, crude oil prices climbing. Otherwise, majority of the growth stocks lie in tech sector or discretionary sector, which is right here, consumer cyclical XLY, and those all ended negatively, especially the tech sector where all the semiconductors and other like chip stocks and memory storage stocks. These stocks they come into play. One second, let me. Okay, can you see my pointer right now? I'm trying to always struggle with this thing. Okay, so then what happened to each major group in the S&P 500, which are 11, as I said. And within those groups, there are sub-industry groups, and those are 97 industry groups. Like in tech sector alone, there are groups like memory storage devices, there are computer hardware, there's a software group, and things like. And within each group, there are different stocks. Then we drill down to the major stocks and groups. Like for example, we notice that the healthcare has been doing very well. What are the some good stocks in healthcare? What are the some good stocks in or bad stocks in the Mag 7? So Apple, for example, tumbled roughly 7% for the week after earning miss. Then cybersecurity is also a group which is like CrowdStrike and other group. They are doing very well. So it goes through the weekly commentary goes through all these things. Then what are the important economic events next in the coming week, which is the current week, and important earnings. So if you go back here we have earnings here. So today, for example, was Thursday. Then we have Baba, Datadog, AAOI, Legend Farm. Sorry, tomorrow is Thursday. Today was Eli Lilly, Sandisk. And Sandisk, by the way, is down by 8% after the earning announcement. And
Oh,
Applaudin, these. So if you are and during the market live hours, then you will see a green light that this is the current day we are in. So this is was the current day. Tomorrow we have initial jobless claim report, which is an important report on August 6th. It also gives you some important economic events. Then we have previous commentary archives. So the all previous commentaries starting from the 1st of January this year are right here. Now I would like you to I will show you rather. We will open a month old June 27th commentary. So we have two open now. One is today, which is this one. Today means sorry, latest one, and June 27th. So what would happen in June 27 was this thing, okay? So for example, I would like to take two examples from here. And within each commentary, we have different sectors, groups of stock. One is our long-term stock picks. Now, I always get this question asked by our customers that which are the long-term stocks and why we are in their long terms. Long-term stocks are those stocks in which I have solid conviction based upon their strong fundamentals, their history, their past characteristics, that sooner or later, even if they come down, even if you they always bounce back and they are very good for the long term. Now, what is long term? Generally, long term is 1 year or more. So I can have these stocks in my, and I have positions in almost all of these stocks. Uh, like right now, there were three at that time, and today I think there were five or four. Four. Broadcom is also there. And these are the stocks. Now, at time, I also close this position. But why I do that? Because we have a strong formula of closing or losing positions 8 to 10% stop loss. Now, sometime we think that Apple is coming down, but it might go to 10 to 15% loss. So we close that position and then we wait for a better entry. But does not mean that it is no longer a long-term stock. It is still there. So for example, Apple. we mentioned on 27th of June that this pullback could provide another opportunity to add Apple share at a better price. Remember 27th of June. As July has been the best month for Apple and there was a pullback. Apple raised the prices in June of their iPads and Macs and stock shed 4.78% for the week, although it bounced back from the on that particular Friday. But we were saying that no, this is a good time to add Apple shares on this pullback, and we think that Apple investor will provide support to Apple around this level. So let's analyze using the software and our own proprietary TR indicator tool that what happened to Apple afterwards. So if we go to this is the TR indicator plotted on the trading view. Now, all of my customers who have got this the main elite package and the complete software or the dedicated TR indicator, they have access to this indicator. If you don't, then let me know. So for example, here on the right side, we have a list of the stocks. So we are now choosing going back to Apple. On your left, we have a daily chart. On the right, we have the weekly chart. Okay. Now we were on June 27th. So we were right here. June 25 is, we were right here, somewhere here. Why did we say Apple is a buy at this time? Question. It already came down something around 315, found support here, bounce at its 50-day. This is 50-day line, green line, and this is 20-day blue line. But failed, and then a strong sell zone started as per the TR indicator. But I went against the reading of strong sell because I had the conviction that this red line. This is plotting automatically support here, a 200-day line right here. This is a zone. And for some reason, I will explain in a while, I had the conviction that this Apple came here and bounced back here. Then Apple was right here at this time. I said, okay, it's a very good high reward to risk entry. What is our risk here? If we make an entry around this 280, that was around $283 at that time. Our stop loss is just going to be 272 or at the most is 200 line 269. That is a $14 at max stop loss. Okay. So we can add on our existing position or we can initiate a new position. So we build a position here and look what happened to Apple after that. The TR indicator, this green arrow is the first stage indicator because it takes time, the indicator for 2-3 days to evaluate whatever the period here. Here is day, here is week. To understand that there has been a trend reversal. But we were ahead of our indicator because of our Apple's history. And finally, it moved past this. And then it started eyeing and moved past this moving averages, 50 days and 20, and then starting. This was the previous high here. And all the way up to 340 to 1 something like here. And then when it came down and broke down here, then we said, okay, fine, we have enough of it. Now it's a $50 move. And we think that this is breaking down, the Apple will come down and it will take some time again. Does it mean it is no longer a long-term stock? No, it is still a long-term stock. But we made our money. So for you can take it as a swing trade. We entered at 283 and maybe we end when it passes 335 or 340, 333. So $50 move. What was our stop loss? 14 times divided by $50 divided by 14 is more than 1:3. This was our stop loss, $14 at max, and this was our gain. Now, if you have strong conviction in Apple, which I do, so I will not sell Apple. I did not sell Apple, but I took some profits on some of the position because I know that Apple will come here, try. This time Apple is right here. It's trying to go down, go up. What it is showing you, we don't know. But we have some tools and the analysis of the software to tell us that what is going to happen with the Apple. Now, this is its weekly chart. So, this is the last 2 weeks, it's red bars. We were right here at this time. The weekly chart was also supposed to, whenever I take a position, I always take a look at the weekly chart as well as on the daily chart. Now, one question about that why Apple is being treated as a long-term stock. Change this to weekly to monthly. Now, long-term means years. You will see a consistent pattern in almost all long-term stocks that even if they come for 1, 2, or 3 months, They never go below this 50-month average line. Never. This, in fact, for the long-term stock for Apple, it has a very good starting from 2019, 2013, all the way. Do you see anywhere Apple goes below this 50-month average? Never. Even if it goes this this 20-week average, that's right normally a very good entry for Apple. This is a characteristics of the stock like Apple that on a long-term basis, you see this is long-term, 10 years of data, of 7 or 8 years, 9 years of data. Apple is continuously going up, 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 and even if it comes down, it gives us an opportunity. Like last year, when there was a tariff fiasco and everything was tumbling, when Apple came here, it found support, and then there was a very good entry, 172. Right now, 100% return in 1 year, in a little over 1 year, 15 months, in a stock like Apple. So for the long-term stocks, we are always looking for these kinds of pullbacks. Which because we know from our history and Apple's pattern that this is not going to last forever. It's just a temporary phase. That's number one. Second, using our software, we went and analyzed its fundamentals as well. We just do not rely upon chart only. So where is our software? It's gone. There are too many windows open here. Let me see here. Now, two key things. We are just discussing that why did we give an entry for Apple, and then we will come down to another one, which is this is NVIDIA. The NVIDIA, this we have mentioned on the previous one, 19th or the previous. I just showed it. I think it was 29th. That NVIDIA is coming. Open another one. This one maybe. Uh, July 20. This one. This is July 18th. No, not this one. Close it down. I think this one. This one. Previous week. So we mentioned here about NVIDIA. That NVIDIA although is gained 2%, but any short-term pullback to 200, the 190 support is in play and is important to hold in the short term. And this pullback to 200 or even at current prices could be used for a small add-on position with the stop loss below 190. Okay? Very quickly, go back to the tech chart again, change it to NVIDIA, and see what happened to NVIDIA here. There we go. NVIDIA, this was July 24, we were right here, around 200, July 27. We mentioned that 190 is a critical support. Look what it did. It tested it 190 and exactly at 190 it reversed. And the support was being plotted right here. So this was an important support. 200-day line. NVIDIA, we know that it's not easy for, unless the market was pulling it back. But market was not. Market was already extended down toward the downside. Here, right here, for example, if you're reading this weekly commentary, that was the right time. Support at this 200-day level right here. And right now, where is NVIDIA? Today it broke out again. It's now 209.20 right here. 219 to 20. And that gave you a $30 or $30 move. 220, 190, $30 move on a stock like NVIDIA, which is another long-term stock. Everyone wants to be a piece of share from NVIDIA. Going back to my earliest description, this is a monthly chart for NVIDIA. What do you see? Have you ever seen NVIDIA coming down to below this blue line and staying there for last 6 or 7 years? No, not even to green line. This is a characteristics of a long-term stock. That they, even if they come down, this is always a temporary phase. Why? Because their fundamentals are always on their side. Their earning growth, their revenue growth, their business is always on their side, which attracts more and more investors as the price or valuation becomes cheaper. Now compare this thing with a weak stock. Now, somehow, whenever I think of a V stock, Adobe comes to my mind, which some people don't like because they work for Adobe. Same chart, monthly. What do you see? How many reds? How many times had come down to this green line? And a downward. Whenever you see on a monthly or weekly chart this kind of a bar, red on it, yeah, it means that there is a strong trend downward side. It will take months or whatever periods, months or weeks to get over with this thing. So Adobe, long time ago, say till 2021, was a very good stock. But once it lost it, all the attempts to even bounce it. Now compare this. You have just seen the charts for Nvidia and Apple. There's a lot of difference. It has already lost its more than from 680 to almost lost two, which is two-thirds of its value at one time. Now, we do not want to keep stocks when this kind of trend starts. So the TR indicator helps you. This is TR indicator, and this is the first stage of TR indicator. Helps you, if not, this is a monthly chart, it's a very long term. We are looking at a long term, right? This is a weekly chart. Here, what is this breakdown? This red dash means a breakdown of this thing. And then the first stage means that this is not going to stop. And this will continue to move, try to move down and down and down. So think about it. If you got trapped here and you are buying here and you did not get out at this time, that's why it's very important to close the position at 8 to 10% so that you don't get trapped in something like this. There are people I can tell you who are trapped in this. They bought it something around 600, 5. Only now they are hoping and betting and expecting it. One day it will come back. Fine, one day it might come back. But it may be too late by then. Correct? And we don't want to get trapped. So this TR indicator, in other words, whatever the time frame you choose, for the long term, you go for weekly and monthly. For the short term swing trade, you go to the daily one, which is on your left side. Now, because when I say short term, in the short term, you see a different picture. It has come down from 210 to 259, trying to come back. No, no, no question. It's trying to come back, but it will take a long time to come back and come in a long-term chart on this position. It's going to be a very tedious effort, not easy for any stock like Adobe. So that was the main concept. Now, how do we analyze? We'll go back to Apple and Nvidia example because we started from there. So talking about Apple, back to Apple again. On this chart, on this software, we have a stock analysis page. Let's see, we want to analyze Apple. So we put the symbol here and update Apple here. Now remember, this chart is giving you information as of today, right now, right? So it's not going back in history. The chart was going back to in history and telling you. So right now, Apple is a hold. Its conviction is 3.0. Now these are the key things on my software. Hold means that whatever the positions have, if you believe it's a long term, there is no new entry available right now. You should hold. You should wait for this buy zone or understand this whole thing should convert to buy or stronger, then you evaluate. Does not mean that if you see buy, immediately go and jump. And the TR status from the daily is also come back to neutral. Now, what does this mean? If we go back to this chart again, plot Apple here. This is Apple. This means the Apple, oops, 1 second. I have this weekly chart here. Here. It's in this white zone now. The green zone is over. That's the neutral zone. We don't know whether it's going to go down, go up. Now, I wrote an article about Apple, which is on my education side, and I shared it on my website. That Apple has a tendency that whenever it breaks out, it comes back. Whenever it breaks out here, it comes back. It breaks out here, it comes back. Now, it is repeating the same thing. It breaks out and it's come back, but it will find support at a good position and then it will go again. And that will be our entry again in case of app. So going back to our software, where is that software? Right here. The software is telling some good thing and bad thing. What it is telling me, there are two critical things here. This view is known as on the main page just below this price is the indicator snapshot. And what it does, these are the indicators which I take a look whenever we suggest a position. For example, what are the position of TR indicator? As we mentioned here, it was neutral for the daily time frame, but it's still strong on the weekly. Its decline is not so strong because it will take a few weeks to change it to a strong buy to buy or neutral. But this is important that its relative strength is fading, although it is still being accumulated by Wall Street this round. I want it to be both to be green. I want a strong relative strength and a strong accumulation distribution. I will explain it in a moment. What does it mean? I also want these are my investment ideas list. These are available here on investment idea page. So Apple is a part of our weekly commentary and weekly picks. So it's there. That's why it's green. But there are other lists as well, like earning stars, AI picks, and growth. And it's not part of those. Look at this thing, seasonality. This is also very important. Seasonality wise, Apple's best month is July, November, no, July, November, and June. But the weak months are April, February, and September. We were at the start of July. We were at the 27th of June. So July was ahead of us, right? And just in a second, we'll come back to this. And its WRPCT is weighted rank percentage, means that Apple's price performance was better than 80% of price performance of the stocks in the universe of 5,800 stocks. While its earning rating was 48, means the way Apple has been maintaining and stabilizing and growing its earning on the fundamental side is better than 48%. Now, each item here carries some weight, and that gives a total conviction score of 3 out of 10. So it's not possible that everything should be green and we get a maximum score and we get 10 out of 10 here. Anything above 3 or 3.5 especially is generally a good score. But here Apple is right now is consolidating, so it's a whole thing right now as of today. Below here, we test 13 different strategies on the daily as well as weekly time frame to see if any of these strategies give us some good signal for Apple or trigger some signal. I'll come back to it in a detail. I know it's a lot of stuff. I don't want to overload people, overwhelm with so much of information. The first, this thing, seasonality. We mentioned July was the best month. Go to this seasonality page right here. Since we selected Apple, so it's automatically for the 5 years, it is plotting Apple's performance, which is the best month to trade Apple. As you can see, July. Its win rate is 100% for last 5 years. Average return was 6.6%. So July, somehow Apple loves the month of July and June as well. But its win rate for last 5 years is 80%, not as good as July. We were at towards the end of the June, correct? 27th of June. And Apple gave us an entry as it came down, close to our support. All factors were lining up. 100% profit rate, win rate. Now, what about 10 years? So if you switch to 10 years, 100% gain rate, 6.9% average. What about 15 years? 100% win rate, 93.93%. It means that 1 out of 15 years, Apple was not positive. Otherwise, 14 out of the last 15 years, Apple was positive, and the average gain was 6.7%. Now, take a look on the August and September. It's declining. September, especially, is minus 1.9 on 15% and 33%. It's the weakest month for the Apple to have Apple. And August is also neither here, neither there. Generally, is much weaker than July if you go back to 5 years or 10 years. So what it is telling me, we were going towards a seasonally very strong month for July, Apple. We were at the good support, pull back at the support, and we know the fundamentals and the history of the company. It's a long-term stock. Go. Exactly. And we did that with a certain risk, which is just $14, as I explained here on this chart. This is Apple. It was $14 risk here. And July, the history repeated itself. Apple performed very well. Now, what was the reason for the July? There could be more than one reason. We have to go into the depth of that. But going forward, for next 2 months, we need to pull back from Apple or at least hold it. This is what the hold means. Then October onward, the situation improved. October, November are better, but December is also a negative month. So if you just take a look here, which are the best 2 months? This is telling you the best months here. Win rate 100%, 6 point is July. The worst month is September. So this is also basically a secondary factor, not a primary factor. You cannot just make your decision on this thing because 1 year could be different from the rest of the 5 years or 10 years. Okay. Not only this,
Right.
you have a question?
No, no, it's okay. Fine.
Okay. Now you are free to ask a question if you don't understand anything, please. I don't want to just carry on and then take 1 hour speaking and nobody understand anything. I don't want that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
No, but just introduce yourself. Who is this?
This is Tariq Amin. I have a
Yes,
quick
sir.
question, if you don't mind.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. You mentioned about a stop loss of $14 on Apple,
Correct.
and that was based on the 200 EMA.
That was based on this. On the TR indicator, this is the 200-day line. We were right here, 27th of July, right here, 27th of June, just before the start of July. This is 200-day line. That was 14. But this bar here, this is a support bar which this indicator plots on on TradingView. This and this line as well. So this was telling me this is a support zone here, and the support was also compounded with the 200 rising 200-day line. Remember, Apple was still above the 200-day line. It was not below 200-day line. So this is the $14, 283 minus 269, something like that. That is $14. Okay.
Is that formula good for all the stocks
No,
as far as stop loss
no,
is
no.
concerned?
We have to check each stock and understand that what was happening to Apple. Apple already came down from here, 317 to that was a good slide for Apple. And Apple was a long-term stock. Not every stock is a long-term. Number one, not every stock seasonally performs in July like this. Correct? Things were lining
Right.
up for Apple, at least for us.
Okay.
That season, a good season was coming. We knew that. Apple is a long-term stock. We know that. We know that Apple has already pulled back this much. So it was now one more thing. This PPO line start turning over. When it crosses zero, that is a positive sign. This blue line crosses this, that this thing is turning over. But this is slightly a lagging indicator. It comes a bit when the first stage comes right here. Now Apple's PPO line is coming down. That means that this thing is coming down. It has good chance to reset the PPO and come down to zero again. Maybe this position or this position. But will Apple break this thing? I have my doubts. Apple will not is going to break. Apple probably will find support at 200 line at the max over here or here. Is it a good time to enter Apple? Maybe no. Why? Because we are heading towards a seasonally weak season for Apple, August and September. What about
Okay.
after mid-September? That might be for next 2.5 months. Now, what is your horizon? Are you a long-term investor? Then you should not care about all this thing, right? Or you just here to make some quick bucks? And unfortunately or fortunately, most of my customers are in the second category. They do not want to start a position here and then see a 15-20% decline, including me. I want to be a part of Apple, but to me, for example, I was holding Apple, I bought it something around 251, for example. So it really doesn't matter. It comes from 340 to 311, $30 or $40. It really, because I know it's a long-term stock. Ultimately, it will pick up the steam and go back again. Okay. Now, last year, for example, let me go back to last year. This is December, August. Take a look here. August, this point, TR indicator gave a first stage signal. PPO crosses zero, and this is known as golden cross. Golden cross is then when 20-day moving average crosses the 50-day from the bottom. This is known as the golden cross. Now, let's go back to our software. Where is our software? Here. Here is a page known as backtesting. I want to know that among the 13 strategies that we have on our software, which is the best strategy for last 5 years on the daily time frame. Run this backtest. And this is a very important feature of our software. Now it is running going back to the 5 years. and testing all those strategies to check where are the best strategies and what are the best points. And it came out that the highest win rate for the Apple was Golden Cross. Okay? And what is a Golden Cross? When was the Golden Cross happen? Where is the Golden Cross here? Here. The Golden Cross happened last time on 19th of August 2025. Remember I was just showing you the 19th of August 2025? And it ended in a 240 days hold with a 28% return. Now, this is a back test for the Apple on the Golden Cross. Now we go back to our chart here. So we give a call when this Golden Cross and this green zone is. Now our TR indicator, what it tells you that when you encounter here, this is your entry. So we made an entry here. Things were lining up. Although it was August, exactly 1 year ago. But Apple somehow came down in July, but not did very well. But then the pattern repeated in August. It was a bit late, which is quite unusual for Apple. But anyway, it did happen. And over here, we gave an entry, and then we just wrote that entry. Until late December, we found this pattern, that this is first stage, and this is a breakdown of this two dash. You see these two parallel dashes? This is a tight zone breakdown. This was a tight zone breakdown, up, breakout, breakout. But here we said, okay, now the PPU is also declined toward, means that Apple is going to a consolidation phase. This is exactly what Apple did onwards. All the way to January. Again, found the support on around the 250 line in 20th of January, 200 line. This is where we give another entry. We took some risk. We thought that, okay, fine, it had come down, but this is the best place to. I will not give an entry for Apple during this period when the PPU line is going downwards. Never ever. And for that matter, not in any stock. I want my PPU lines to going up, crossing the signal line, especially if it crosses the zero line, that will be great entry. Which this is where when the green zone starts. So you see, if we pick up according to our the back testing algorithm, which gives the software gives you, and it tells you that the highest win rate for the Apple is been Golden Cross for last 5 years. And the best strategy to trade is with the highest is RSI. Most active is this. So we need to look for these strategies. But this is not enough. Go back to stock analysis. And here, if there is a valid strategy which is giving a signal right now as of today. So in case of Apple, what is the best strategy for daily? Golden Cross. 60% win rate, profit factor 2.71. Is it green? No. It means that right now it's not valid for Apple. Correct? PPO crossover is another one. I just explained the PPO crossover. RSI is another one. On the weekly, these are the three best. If I have one or two green signal here, that will increase this conviction score a lot. And that will give me a very good basis to form an opinion. So for example, if I just move to NVIDIA here on our main analysis software, update this, and see what does this back strategy. Now what is showing it? There are 13 strategies. It is telling me 3 best strategies for NVIDIA, and 2 of them are green now, active. One is 200-day signal Apple. It just became active 30th of July at 195. Today is what, NVIDIA? 220. Another one is 30 weeks weekly signal. It just gave a 3rd of July. Today is what? And 3rd of July. At that time, EMA 30 was this value. EMA 200 was this value. So those were converging for Apple, for NVIDIA, I'm sorry. Although NVIDIA's conviction is still low for some reason, and all NVIDIA's TR indicator are yet, although the daily indicator has become a neutral and its check mark means it's close to a buy point. This was a buy point, 5.5. We can take a look. The reason because NVIDIA's 2 other things, relative strength trading and the mild strong accumulation distribution, they are not very good. What are these? This green line is NVIDIA's relative strength versus S&P 500. We want this green line to be at the highest level of its last 1 year. Similarly, this AD line is kind of a medium. It's not going at the max out. It's AD line is accumulation distribution. This green line is telling you how strong is NVIDIA compared to the broader S&P 500 market. And this accumulation distribution is telling you how is the Wall Street under the surface accumulating its share and it's come down, or is distributing it. So it's in the middle ground. That's why it is mild accumulation. It's there, and the relative strength is still not very good. It will take some time. Now it is as of yesterday. The server is calculating it for all the stocks. Just to make it a disclaimer, so at the end of yesterday, and within an hour or so, it will be updated for all the stocks for today, which are 5,700 stocks. So that's why it takes a while. Got it? Any question on this? Go back to Apple here first. Let me complete the Apple thing and take a look what the relative strength and strong accumulation distribution are showing. So we change it to Apple. Relative strength is fading because of last 2 weeks action, but it is being strongly accumulated by the market. Means as whenever it comes down, you see this AD line is going up. It's at the maximum here for last 1 year, but this relative strength has coming down. Now this is not a good signal for Apple. It means that against the rest of the 500 stocks in S&P 500, has been showing. It was very good till this point. Which was the point? July 29. But as we know, for last 10 days after the earning, July 29 was the earning, Apple has come down. That's why its relative strength is fading, is coming down. That's why it is hold as of right now. So based on all these sectors, PPO, relative strength index, its volume, the system gives it a conviction score. The higher the conviction, the better it is that its system is working. Right now, Apple has none of this. Golden cross was one example from last year's chart, which was here August when the golden cross occurred. The 50-day line, this is 200-day line, and this is 50-day line. Crosses it 11th of August, and there we go. So that was our entry last year, and we made some good profits on Apple trade. Okay. So one trade, second trade was this one, third trade is this one. Just sooner. So that's how we gauge things. No one thing that goes that, hey, okay, it's coming down, it will go down. It's going up, it will go up. That's not the case. In fact, in Apple's case, it is not, I would say, desirable to chase it at the high prices. Normally, Apple's always pull back. Therefore, its characteristics is. So if we go back to our software again, and 25th of June, now we come to NVIDIA. So we were saying that NVIDIA is likely to find a support at 190 and 200, and there's a pullback because it's a long term. And this is exactly what was done by NVIDIA. Change it to NVIDIA. That NVIDIA 27th of July 25 coming down, and at 200-day line and this zone here, it finds support. And you can take, because this is NVIDIA, it's a long-term stock, you can expect it, at least it will bounce, it will come to this point. But crossing this point and giving this indicator means that NVIDIA is in power now. It's right here. It has all the chances that it will touch at least previous high, and these are resistance zones here. And it will definitely, I think so, that it will try to at least test this 230 and this range before coming down again. Now, will it go beyond this? I doubt it. Not because normally the stock of NVIDIA size do not make this kind of move in one go. I mean, this is market, anything can happen. You look at this PPO again. You see this PPO crossover and it's crossing zero. That's a strong sign. Look at this accumulation distribution. That is mild. And relative line, these are the same which are available on the software. This is a TradingView version. That relative line is coming down. Relative strength is not very strong. This is NVIDIA, by the way. Any question on this? Before we move on?
Yes. Yeah, this is Tariq again. Just a general rule. You said that if the PPO line is less than zero, you shouldn't touch that stock then?
Depending upon which kind of, which time frame you're looking. For example, let me share you what I normally do for the swing trades. Okay, save this thing. On your left, you see a Heiken Ashi chart. On it's a 3-hour chart. This is a swing trade. We are here for a few days. Now, if the PPO line is below zero, you see here, but it's rising, and we have power anticipation that it will cross here. Look, nothing can go on for forever. This is an entry here, and this is our TR indicator turns green here. What was that? Amazon. So Amazon on 30th of July gave an entry here on 240, and PPO line just crossed zero. All the things were lining up. Only reason I did not mention Amazon, because on the daily time frame where it was still under this 200-day line, but it crossed in volumes because earning and the earning was around the corner. On 30th of July there was earning, and this is a reaction on earning. So this is how the things are lined for the swing trades lined up. So for example, if you are following me on my uh, Oracle on that WhatsApp group, so we normally this is where we. So this is what Oracle has been long in a downward trend. This is a daily time. When it is lost according to this daily time frame, Oracle is gone for the time. PPO line is coming down, 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 down. Is this an entry? Now people ask me all the time, hey, it has come down to this place. Is it a good entry? It's come down to this place. Is it a good entry? Is it come down to this place? No, I will not give an entry. I will only give an entry when the PPO crosses this and it turns to green. Now, in case of Oracle, it already came down from 247 to 118 or something like that. That was a total disaster for it, for the stock, more than 60%. But on the swing side, Oracle on 118 or 119, it was here on 30th of July. So we gave an entry for the swing. We said, okay, fine, Oracle is turning. It might have a chance to test this 50-day, then it will face resistance, will come down. This is exactly what it did. It came down very close to this 50-day yesterday and came down. Why? Because it takes time to repair this chart. Unless you attain this kind of move, when the PPO is above zero and then you turn this green line, then you can say, okay, there is fair chance that this stock will continue its journey. Here, the story is opposite. It's trying to turn corners, and no doubt because Oracle, it can come here or it can come here, but again, it will find sellers at every point here and here. Why? There will be people who are trapped here during this fall, and they are waiting to get out of their positions at par, but they're just waiting for the stock to come back. So it will take a lot of strength, a lot of conviction in the investor and the buyers to get over those sellers and move it past to this area. And that is not going to happen in one attempt. That's why it is not a long-term stock. It is a swing stock at its best. So that's why this Oracle swing trade, actually, it really worked very well. And my suggestion was that it will turn, why I mentioned 150. This is exactly around 150, 149 something. Why? Because at 150 is the number one, is a round number. That's number one thing. Second, you will always find some kind of resistance. And second, we have a 50-day moving average here. And that is another. So two things are combining. And third, we already moved from this to 118 to 150. That is a move of something around 20% in very few days. And for a weak stock like Oracle at this stage, it is quite a lot. So it will gather again. If it is really strong, it will gather its steam, it will consolidate, come, and then it will go to try to attempt a next move. That's how things move. Okay. Now, once we dropped and lost this thing and this thing, the story was over for Apple. I will not give them the trend indicator, especially in the case of daily or the weekly chart. Change it to the weekly. You will never find me, especially on the weekly, something like this going this, and the PPO is coming down, and we are a strong zone, and I'm saying that go ahead, and it will give you a this is the best time to buy Oracle. No, there's something wrong with this company at this point. What was wrong? It gave some guidance, future guidance during last year here when it break down, and some excessive, extraordinary future guidance, which market did not buy, and they started dumping its share. So that's what it happened. Okay, hope I answered that question. All right. So if you are all set here, then we go back to our software side. So I explained how the seasonality is important and why, if you are especially there for a long term, you should, because you're there for maybe a month or 2 months, you should consider that, is it a bottoming month? Is it a top month? And how the strategies, there are some very good strategies. 10-week signal, 30. For example, this was Apple. Let's see, in case of NVIDIA, I think we have seen that. There were these strategies which are the best one. And the two of them triggered on 3rd of July. And sorry, this is 3rd of July, and this is 30th of July. The daily one was triggered on 30th of July, 200 days EMA signal, and 30 weeks triggered on 3rd of July. Go back to the back testing. Instead of, let's do this NVIDIA thing. Run back test and see for yourself what actually was happening to NVIDIA at that time. Sorry, which is the best strategy for NVIDIA. Based on this, the best strategy is Golden Cross, but one of the best strategies is 200 day. And whenever this is its history, you want to see its history, go back here, and if it tell you for the last 5 years, it gave 17 trades. This strategy with a win rate of 30% only, but the average gain was 88%, but average loss was just 3.5%. So the profit factor is very, very high, 10.59. Okay, so we can always look and look forward to find a 200-day signal for NVIDIA, because it is appearing right here as one of the best strategies, in case it was the best strategies. But these things are pulling it down. To me, these are very, very important. Relative strength and accumulation distribution. That it should have a strong, should be accumulated by, what does this mean, accumulated? If you scroll up, you see that funds are increasing their participation in this stock, which is NVIDIA, 0.6% quarter to quarter. And last 4 quarters, funds are increasing their number of funds who are investing in it are going down. Although its up-down volume is slightly lower than 1, which is not a desirable thing. That's another factor which is bringing its conviction. Up-down volume means that the days on which it goes up, the volume is less than the days on which it goes down, the volume is higher. Now on it, what is this ATR percent? 3.63? It's 3.63%. It means that on a given day, NVIDIA price action changes 3.63% for the last 14 days. Take a look at something which is very volatile, like SanDisk. Yeah, SanDisk 13.69%, and this is given as a red. It means that this is not a conviction, it's a very volatile stock. In other words, you can expect, if SanDisk price, for example, is $1,000, you can expect $137 move every given day. But right now its price is 1350, so you can expect its move, which is that's a quite volatile move. If you can stomach this move, then SanDisk is for you. But for most of us, either we should go for with a smaller position, or we should be very careful that in one day we may lose up to $137 on one stock. Okay. On the right side, it also gives you its halal status, AOFI. And if you do not want it, you can click it off and it will not show it to you. So that's how we analyze this. This is the software analyze, but we have many more features. One of the features which I would like you to take a look here is comparison charts. And this is telling you that SanDisk is a part of semiconductor group. But over the last 1 year, as you can expect, SanDisk performance has been continuously going up, especially apart from last 2 weeks, 2 months. And compared to the broader market, this is what we want in stronger stocks, that it should show green and a rising trend. So the broader market, SanDisk has been very strong against the broader market. But how about the group itself? The group itself is semiconductor group, and it is coming down right now. But overall, for the last 1 year, it has been very good. What about the technology sector itself? The tech sector itself is very strong against. So the VR in SanDisk, which is part of semiconductor group, the group is strong against the broader market. Group is part of tech sector, and tech sector is strong against the broader market. This is what we want to be, a leading stock in a leading group. That's what our core should be, that we should be a part of a stock. But unfortunately, SanDisk has risen so much, so quickly, that it's normal to give back a hefty portion of its gains in a quick time. So for example, SanDisk after extended hours is 1294, but it closed today at 1350. So minus 5.4% gain during the day, and further 5 or 6 or 7% loss after our post market. And that is not something desirable. We do not want to be. That's why its conviction should be low, less than 3, 2.8. Because its relative strength is now weak. So in other words, is SanDisk a buy? No. Especially in a high ATR stock, 13.7%. Is it being accumulated? Yes. So that's a positive point. But it is a secondary factor for decision. Primary factor should be a conviction score, price action itself, a relative strength, and combined. And what about the seasonality? Its top month are September and October, but actually it's only 1 year of data because SanDisk just started trading last year. But for last year, look at this. Its price performance has been better than 99% of the stocks in the 5,000 units. And its earning primarily because of its earning growth was better than 97% of the stock in our stock universe. Okay, so these are the factors we take a look here. Then if you want support and resistance for the daily basis, these are plotted here. How the performance has been for in 1 year, SanDisk has given a, in fact, after coming down, 3077% return. I mean, which is enormous, not huge. It's much. And it's still year to date, if you were lucky, you bought it in the 1st of Jan, it's 462%. On the other hand, the broader market just gave you 24% return, which is very good in 1 year because the average is 8 to 9%. And the tech sector has beaten the broader market 43%. So this is what has been showing that the tech sector is performing better than broader market. And SanDisk has been performing better than broader market. Okay. So these are very important. You can compare performance of any stock against its own group and against the broader market. But that brings in another question. Okay, what are the stronger group at this point of time? We come to it. If you scroll down, it also gives you different EMAs which are important. Profit target in relation to the current price. And over here, it can fetch news for you. So the latest news as of today, right now, which are appearing online on the web, it will take out those and show it to you. So these are the 10 news articles from Yahoo Finance and others, mostly Yahoo Finance Bar Chart and Investor Business Daily IBD, which mentions SanDisk. And based on that, you can ask the AI engine to analyze it, all the news item, and give a sentiment of what the news is saying about SanDisk. Is it a buy, not buy? If so, then why? Or so my overall market is still bullish about it, and that's why they are coming out of these 10 article. But given on this, our system run this AI technical analysis, and what it will do, that it will put all these parameters which I'm talking about SanDisk, send it to Claude AI, and Claude will analyze it and give you a technical analysis. This is not being generated by the software. Software is handling it on behalf of all this data and sending it that all data to Claude. So Claude is saying that it's hold. It's with 62% confidence. And the bullish factors are these and the bearish factors are these. Okay? Now, on top of that, you can download this report as well. You can ask the AI engine about anything about SanDisk. Should we sell SanDisk here? Let us. And this is again, it will send all this data from this, feed this to Claude and ask that, let's say what Claude says about SanDisk. So this is what the AI engine will say that I don't issue seller short recommendation. That's outside the platform scope. However, because that's more like kind of a financial advice, I can tell you what the technical show. Current set it says action value is buy, meaning the daily setup is actionable for entry. And this should be your buy zone. So we are below that buy zone. We are currently at this level, below that zone. So daily conviction is weak at 2.8. Threshold is 4. Normally we do not buy above below 4, but the signal exists. It lacks strength. So there is a lack of strength. These are notable things and these are not. Okay? So this is what the Claude AI engine can help you. And you have a limits on this that I think is 10 questions per day or 30, something like that, because every time when you use customer find a question to Claude, there is a cost to it. So we have to limit that thing, unfortunately. Otherwise, the bot could come and they can ask thousands of questions. Now, building on this, we have a separate AI engine here. It's known as Avatar SAB, SAB. And you can ask anything about this platform over there if you don't know. You have an FAQ section, an FAQ section frequently asked, which gives you a quick start guide, how to create a watch list of your own stock, how to set alerts, how to screen stocks, how to backtest stock. I just showed you the backtest. What is the seasonality analysis? How does it work? How does the halal screening works? Is right here. Setting the alerts. How does the subscription and billing occurs? What about the data integrity and where the data comes from? Now go back to SAP, for example, and I want to ask any question you want to ask about the platform. I can put it here and ask the Claude to anyone. No question? Everyone is
Why
happy?
Intel is low, even though
This
oh,
section is about the platform. It's a platform assistant. If you want to ask a question about Intel, you first have to go stock analysis, put Intel here. Okay. So it knows you're talking about Intel. Now we can come down to the AI engine side. Here we go. And ask about Intel. What is the question? Why Intel has come down?
yes, due to fundamentals are very good, everything is good. Why is
Are
not picking up?
fundamentals good or technicals bad? Technicals bad. Okay, let's see what it says. So it will gather all this data, send it to Claude, and the answer will come from there. So that's why there is a pause here because it's going outside to the Claude servers. And there, fundamentals are weak, technicals are mixed. Fundamental. Intel's earning picture is poor. The EPS is negative on trailing 12 month, and the PE ratio is 784.7, extremely elevated. I don't know whether this is good or bad. Anyway, is it real? Essentially meaningless given the lack of funding. The ER rating is just 9 on a 1 to 99 scale, well below the 80 plus threshold. Hold on. Let me check the ER rating. This is what he's talking about. The earning is very low compared to our universe of 5,700. Unfortunately, it is better than only 9%, bottom 9% of them. Although its performance has been very good for last 1 year, it has beaten 98%. So there are two different things. But I will not buy Intel if it is relative strength has come down weak and it is mild accumulation. I won't do that. Okay. Now,
Yes.
so that hopefully answered the question. Now we have a fundamental section here as well. Set fundamental. Let's see some fundamentals of Intel as well. So what it is saying that although compared to previously, in EPS has gone up, but look at its profit margin is just 0.05%. And its sales has come down this quarter. Its year-to-year basis is also come down. And last year EPS it was negative last quarter, minus 2.89. So it's still it's not profitable for last 1 year at least. This is what it said. But why did it happen? So why the segment so long? I think it was pushed by expectation in Mr. Trump and the government of US government has invested a heavily lot in it. So the fundamentals are not on our side when it comes to this. So is this a longest term stock? No. It could be a swing stock at best. Okay.
Thanks. It gives
Welcome.
you all the things.
Say again?
Uh, you gather all the information in a one platform. That is so nice.
This is your main interface. Now we're running out of time. I would like to complete it, but anyway, if you want to see the TR indicator chart with buy and selling point, this is also important. We were at the Intel, we moved here. This is the point where it tells you that this is its buy point, but this is too choppy for us 1 year. So its buy point has been consistently failing. What I suggest when you the green zone start, this is the same TR indicator. This is the first stage, this is third stage, this is second stage. And after the first stage, if it is rising in the green zone, that is your entry. So in case of Intel, its entry was around 2nd of April, right here. Its entry was around 8th of January. Its entry was around last year, September. And when should you out? When it comes down to this place. Now, based on this system, this is a performance sheet I would like to show you starting from April. All the trades I maintain here, and I sometimes I share it in the group, WhatsApp group, they are here. So for example, remember I mentioned last year on 11th or 7th of August, we gave an Apple entry, 8th of August, that was it. We gave a 229, closed it at 260, 13.42%. Look here, last year, 15th of August, we gave an entry for MU. 19th of March, 264% return. We gave an entry for FIX, 5th of September. FIX closed on 10th of April, 126% return. We gave an entry on 20th of October, WDC, 126.2, closed at 343. By the way, I think right now it's 500. But when the market came down, we closed it at 172%. Then, when the market came down towards the end of the March and April, we gave these entries. We gave Apple again, Amazon 18% return, Google 17%, Broadcom 23%, CLS 31%, Intel. We gave an entry on 7th of April, 49.87. We closed at 100.52% return. 16th of July. DRAM 56%, Sterling 6. Now, what is our threshold? We cut down on 8% only. But sometime when it gap down, so you can find greater than 8% losses as well. Like this AMD trade, 15th of June, resulted in a 14% loss. Coco trade, 11.27% loss. So what is our overall performance following this system starting from last of April? So we gave a total trades of 140 with a 71.4% win rate for all trades. Out of 140, 100 was ended in positive range, 70% win rate. It means 40 ended in negative range. But we cut down between 8, we try to cut down between 8 to 10%. Sometimes they flip and they ended more losses. I just being honest here, 11.27 loss. Overall close trades profit, it was profit factor. This means the ratio of gross profit to gross losses. In other words, if you was 7.98. In other words, if you're following this system, then if you lose $1 on one trade, you are expected in general to gain on close trade $7.98. For all trades, this ratio is 8.43 because we have 16 open trades as of 30th of July. This is as of 30th of July and end of last month. And the profit factor was 8.43, which I believe is quite good, not bad. So we're not saying that we don't make mistakes. We obviously we have always mistakes and always losses along the way, and that's part of the game. Nothing is perfect. It will always come your way. But key is to manage these losses and keep those short between 8 to 10%. While letting your like Nvidia trades, we had this Nvidia trades when what time? Here. Not here. We have an open Nvidia trade somewhere here. No. Here. Right here. 31st of March, 174. Right now it's 195. It was 195. Right now it's 220 on 30th of July. We have open April trades from 1st of April, 251. Still 32.8% gain. Besides, it has come down. At that time, it was 333. Now I think it's 310. So that's the performance of this system. So we have this TR indicator which gives you this buy signals and along with the buy point and sell loss. Then we have this investment idea page here. The software shows you different ideas, which is our weekly picks, which are part of the weekly commentary right here. Then every month, the AI system scans all the data and comes with a few only AI picks only, which is basically chosen by a Claude engine. And right now, these are the 11. How many stocks are there? 13 stocks. 13 stock. Look at their last 1 month performance. Last 1 month, all of their performances have been very good. And you won't find many chip stock, or you find LPG, you will find MPC, energy stock, Nucor. Nucor is a steel stock, 20.5% return in 1 month, 1% return in last 1 week. And we update this list on every month end, first of every month. So, for example, if you selected this one Nucor from this list, now analyze that. Let's very quickly take a look at Nucor. NUE. You see, we gave it around 30th of June right here, the AI engine. And last 1 week, it was here. This is a 7% gain in Nucor, which is being shown here. Actually, it's 1 week. So it's 3 days of starting from 29th or 30th of June. Then we have a growth.
Sabri bhai, what is this earning stars?
This one? YTD?
No, in the investment ideas, the stock list, you have like earning stars, weekly picks, monthly. Yeah, what is the top one? The earning stars.
Earnings
Top
star.
one. Top.
Earnings
what is it?
star it defines it here. Stocks that beat both EPS and revenue estimates. So twice a week. Today I will update it. Like SanDisk has announced its results today, correct?
Yeah.
AMD, for example, yesterday, maybe Eli Lilly yesterday, whatever. If they are beating their analyst EPS and revenue estimate, what the market was expecting, number one, and they have strong technicals, right? Which I explained, PPO crossover and moving average is bullish, and then high WR rating, which is my own proprietary. WR means weighted rank rating, and ER rating, market cap. If it's passing through these filters, then it will appear here. So only 90 stocks are appearing here. Chances of success when you have companies selected from this particular list are higher because these are the stocks which are beating market estimate and they have strong fundamentals. Does it mean that we should buy and go and buy immediately? No. What it means that, like, take a look at this Guardant Health. That you go into individual, you see their performance, their conviction score, whether they are currently relative strength, strong, analyze it. If there are any strategy signals which are being triggered at this point of time, that's and their comparison chart against the market and their group. If they qualify for all those things, then that's going to be your best bet. Okay?
So why is that the TR indicator says strong buy, but the conviction rate is low
Where is
for a
it?
stock?
Here it is, conversion
Uh,
is low.
Yeah,
But
for example, check the stock CEG.
what's the name?
CEG,
V.
GG. G is a girl, yeah.
Constellation. Okay.
Yeah, constellation energy, yeah.
Okay. Let's see what it is. It says conviction is 0.9. This is strong
Yeah.
buy because of
Yeah.
this. This. Right here. Look, everything has some weightage. Okay. Now,
Okay.
TR indicator is one indicator, where we have 13 strategies and several other. Everything has certain weightage. What about this? Funds are not adding their investment. It's minus 4.7. What do you mean by that? It means that mutual funds, bank, institution, they are pulling out of money. That's why it's heavy distribution. They are taking out of money for the time being. Could be a long lasting. Although TR indicator is mostly technical side, chart action. But for conviction, in order to go high, each of these items has certain weightage. Unless these two things turn green, you will not find a high conviction here. But you should see its chart action. Here it is. So TR action is probably TR indicator is taking a look at this section only. Okay? Because either you're taking a daily or weekly view, correct? But for conviction and for other things, we want this AD line to go up. Remember I told you AD line? We want this relative strength line to be on this go up. And what about this comparison charts? Take a look at this comparison. Do you see any green here? It's a weak stock in a weak sector. Sector is utilities, which is weak, and stock is weak within its own group. So that's why the conviction score is low. Although it's saying buy, because maybe it is sensing the TI indicator, because the TI indicator is sensing that it is turning the corners. Okay? Now it's your decision. I know it's contradictory, but I do not make a decision on anything unless these two things are aligned. Or we have some here. Some of the best strategies trigger. If these strategies trigger, relative strength is green, strong correlation decisioning, seasonality is on our side, TR indicator is on the green, then let's go. Then it's time to take chances. Because there's a lot of merchandise, thousands of stocks out there. Why should I go and buy something which is showing me this feeling? Correct?
Okay.
Plot it here. CEG. C is daily and weekly. This is what it is doing. It was something around 360 of even 400 at one time. It came down to around 225 very recently, last month. Now, TI indicator is sensing on the daily and weekly this that is trying to reverse the trend. But I would say unless it gives me this kind of action right here, this is where high conviction will come. Here or here. This is 3 hour only. Everything lined out, TI indicator is strong, other things strong, then I will go for it. Otherwise, I won't. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
Hope I cleared that query. So we have a lot of other features as well, which unfortunately I could not have time. I explained this investment ideas. You can maintain your own watch list, maintain a watch list, and you can then view them from different angles. You create your own custom view. And for example, there is an action conviction view. So I have this oil list, just only 4 stocks: Schlumberger, ExxonMobil, COP, CrowdStock. Let's add CVX here. Chevron. So, I have to add it. Now we have 5 stock, analyze this, and we want to see its action conviction view. It is telling me, remember the conviction score, action, and machine language confidence score for this? This is the buy zone. Is this halal or not? And if this is a buy zone, what are the stop loss and targets suggested by the system? And what is the upside? Oil is still strong. Although it's very recently, last few days, it's coming down. But this one is not actually oily, so this is CrowdStrike. This is at the wrong place. I need to delete this thing from here. How can I delete that? Here. So I can maintain a watch list of all different type of stock that I want to maintain. No, CrowdStrike is gone from this list, okay? Similarly, I have this pattern detection system where they have different types of, for example, I want to see there are different patterns. Which are the patterns available for Apple? So there are 10 different patterns detected in last 1 year. Nine out of those 10 were bullish. And what is their expected machine language confidence score to go up and down? Okay, we have a
Yes.
stock screener as well here, where you can put different parameters. For example, you want to see, okay, which are stocks that are pulling back to their 50-day line. Just give me those, and then you can modify their screen parameters here, and then you can run a scan, and you can also select your scan universe from the 5,700 stocks or one given sector only. So out of those 5,700 stocks, it has chosen these 37 stocks which have come down to their 50-day EMA average. Stocks where price tested the 50-day, open above, low dip, and close above. So it came down it, for example, Seagate. For example, maybe TSM. Very quickly take a look at the Seagate. This is one stock in my radar. This is a weekly, and this is a, sorry, I have to change it to daily. Daily. So this is what it is telling me. It came down here 50 day, this is 50 day, and then it just closed above it. So it's going to, in other words, it is going to be a 50-day test of Seagate. And post market has come down 2.72%, further below that. Now is my analysis, and that should I take some chance here? Maybe it's a good chance, or maybe I can wait. I need to wait it and cross this again. At least this point. I will, being a conservative person, I would like it to come down and with the stop loss below here. And that would be my entry if it crosses this 892 area. Okay? I know it's hard. It's not easy to grab all these things because software has so many different features, mashallah. And like you can set alerts here of any different stock. Like I have these stock. Remember, I told you that Apple has a golden cross is basic one of the winning strategy. So I have set an Apple golden cross. That if the golden cross, I'm sorry, is 50-day moving average crosses 200-day moving. So in case of Apple, whenever this thing will happen, it will send me an email. I can create any new alert here based on these things, on his stocks, target price. I explained the Skinner one last thing before that, heat map. For example, I want to see just today or maybe last 1 week, which of the S&P 500 sector performed very well or which are not. So by the market capitalization, this is what it's telling me. The industrial is 5.5%. XLK technology has been the best one, 12.21%, although today it was not very good. Discretionary 5.99%. Real estate was a laggard, minus 1.72. Defensive stock staples minus 2.28, utilities minus 1.78, healthcare minus 2.5. Then we have an indicator chart section as well, and this is also very important and very good to know about it. Here we can select a number of different indicators like RSI, MACD, EMA, MACD crossover, a combination of TR and Ichimoku cloud strategy. So for example, I need to know, not CEG, maybe Seagate. And I need to know what are this, according to this RSI strategy, is upper and lower threshold. So what it's telling me that when RSI comes above 76.65, it becomes overbought. and it comes below 32.35 in case of Seagate, 32 point, then it's time for reversal. So right now it's getting close to this level, but it is not time for reversal. If I want to, I can set an alert here for RSI. So it falls below this thing, it alerts me. That probably will be the time for Seagate to make a reversal if I'm interested in that. On the flip side, if I make an entry here and the stock crosses this green line, although it can go and still remain overbought for a while, but normally it is a time to take profits and come down. So in case of Apple, for example, based on last 3 years of data, Apple on May 22nd came down, it was overbought and then it came down. And on June 30th, remember June 27th? That was the time when Apple found the support and right turn at this red line. So there is no holy grail, that one thing that can solve all of your problem and give, because otherwise it would have been too easy. This is market. You have to analyze the stocks in totality. You have to understand where the market is flowing. Is it buying it or distributing it? How it is performing? Is it strong compared to other stocks in the group or not? And then you make the decision. Okay?
Mm.
On the investment idea, there is another feature which I have just very recently added, and I had a presentation which is available on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry it's just taken a long time, 15 minutes over, but I wanted to cover this thing as well. There are 97 Dow Jones Industrial groups. Now it has ranked which group has been performing best as of right now, based on how many stocks are, for example, apparel retailers, they are the best stocks right now, like Ross and others. And you can download a group essay. Now, each of these group, it will be telling me leading stocks in leading groups. So, for example, computer hardware, group number 2 is computer hardware. Is it here, computer hardware somewhere? Should be here. There are 2 stocks in it. For example, steel. Remember Nucor? Nucor was in this group. Software is doing well these days. Microsoft, even Oracle, SAP, they are here. Semiconductors are not there. So I can go and see which groups are performing better. And within those groups, which stocks are performing better. And then I can come down here and see those stocks. So for example, I want, these are the leading stocks in leading groups. So these are the leading groups, and in each stock, they are the leading, each group, they are the leading stocks within that particular group. See what it is doing. So you have a lot of different information. I suggest you take a look at our YouTube channel, where different features have been described, like the basics, like seasonality tool is right here. And one of the video that I strongly recommend everyone to watch is this, that it is easy how to recognize sell signals on a stock chart before it's too late. It's easy to get into a stock, buy some stocks, but it's difficult to know the good selling points. This is where people struggle. Watch this video if you have time, and then find entry in strong stock using TR indicator with Heiken Ashi candle. This is another one, not very old, 1 month ago. Maybe in June, I think we have did this video session. I hope you like this introduction. It's a heavy introduction, I know. Maybe for future, I can split it into 2 sections, but I wanted it to have a walk through all these features of it. Maybe tomorrow, next group or next group of people, I will limit it to only one stock. Like today we mentioned 2-3 stock, like Intel, Nvidia, and Apple. Maybe we just limit to Apple only. All right, sir. Any more question?
I just have a general question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I just have a general question on SpaceX. I know in your WhatsApp group you mentioned that it's not a good buy. Well, what if somebody buys it, and is it still a hold, or just dump it and get out of it, or
Look, I have been
do
receiving,
you
I
see?
think, hundreds of queries on this. I don't know how long you've been in that group and the customers. That I don't know, very honestly. But I have been always telling that don't fall into this SpaceX traps, right?
Right. I agree with you here.
Right from the even before people were asking before the launch, I said, okay, number one, all IPOs, regardless, all IPOs, they have a history of us going up if they're strong, and they are higher hype created around them. They come below their initial price. Then they form a base, and then they come. Now, I don't know what was your purchase price, but I think it was higher than this, whatever it is right now. Correct? Now,
Yes.
unfortunately, this thing is not telling me that it is in a good shape. Now, this low on the other day, I think it was Monday. Monday. This is important. If it breaks it, then it can keep falling. It can go to 100 and even below that. But this could be a start of a base here. Here. Although today it has again come down to 108. So it is very low at this point. It's about to break the support. But at times what happens that it will break the support, find a double bottom, will come back. If it maintains and covers this base, then you are fine. If it does not, then there is strong chances that it will break the 100 level and come down. If you read my message, all IPOs do this. But this is an extreme case now. Because people were trapped in 200, 220. This has lost a lot of value. Compare it with this billion. Billion, by the way, is 29% down after earning. And just today, I think I mentioned it somewhere in my group that I mentioned it somewhere that billion is what did I mention? Something about billion. That I mentioned billion days, but earning today some profit. Okay, this is my question. Let me bring it here on the screen. This is an important question. Mentioned billion on 6th of June, around 100, today 150. 50% increase 2 months, not bad. But has earnings today, some profit should be secured as well. Because I realized that it has gone too much in a quick time. Now, this was the IPO base I was talking about. Okay? This was the IPO base. Billion was open somewhere here, 1995. It went up, went down, went up, then it came back. Then it formed a base, one base here, two base here. And this is where we gave an entry. This around 95, I think, or 100. And it did very well in 2 months. That's fine. But right now it has gone too much. 150 round level, earnings round the way. It has to come down. There's no magic in the stock market. Logic says that it will come down and consolidate, but it has come down to 106 level, 29% drop in one day. That's a lot. In other words, it is almost is the top. Why 106? You see this balance? IPOBS is just at the top of this IPOBS, 106, right here. This is where it finding support. Now this base is important. If it does not find support here, then it will break and come down to next base, right here. So this is what you should look in. IPO are very, very dangerous for new people because their ATR is very high. What is ATR for this particular stock? Let me see. This is another tool which I use all the time. It's IBDs. Look at this ATR. It's 5.83%. So that it should move $6 or $7, but it has already moved how much? $44. That's something crazy going on, right? So these kind of stocks, they can wipe you out. They can bust your account. They can take you to the bankruptcy. They can dishearten you, discourage you. You should be very careful with your position size. Grab your money and get out. You should not be there for long-term position. Now, answering your question about SpaceX, I think that's a no-goer. Right from the very beginning, no one should have trusted this guy, Elon Musk, number one. Number two, all the valuation was very high, crazy. Number three, you should always expect any IPO to do this, come down from a base. This base should have been here. The very question that this base was not from here, this means there's something wrong grossly with this stock, unfortunately. Okay? That's the unfortunate part of the stock market. People are there to take your money away. Simple as that. They don't care. They are there to make their own money. All right, sir. I hope you guys like it. I know maybe one or two are of you people. They are newcomers and new customer. They are not yet customers. So please, if you like it, subscribe to our services. That will support our business. And one way the existing customers can support my business is that if you are part of some WhatsApp groups where they allow the newcomers to come and share, you can share the group and add me over there so we can expand our reach. If any one of you can look into it, okay?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for your
Okay,
time.
everyone, Kabir
Very
bhai, you are there is a
informative.
long time. I know that you, all of you almost. Salman
Yeah.
Malik, I know you long
Yeah,
time.
thank you. Thank you, Sabri bhai. Very nice presentation.
I'm
Learned
sorry,
many
Yeah,
I
things.
had to
very
rush through it.
informative. I
It's
learned
not
a
a
lot
material
today.
of 1 hour, 30 minutes. It's not a material of 1 hour. I could spend several days on it, unfortunately. Sorry, someone was saying
Alhamdulillah.
something?
Alhamdulillah,
Thank
learned
you
a
very
lot
much.
today, brother.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, Sabir bhai.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay. Let's call it a day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
very much.
see you again, inshallah.
Okay, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.